Hello my friends, this is Sheikh Michal and I help ordinary people to achieve extraordinary dreams. And the topic of this video is by measuring to perfection. By measuring to perfection. What I mean? Yes! Exact thing that you fear of. That geeky activity that people do who never talk to anyone, just put some numbers in Excel. Exactly, I mean this. And I admit it can be boring, but I want to show you three areas of life that I used it in, that I was very much profited in. And these three areas are: the first, finance. The first like a report that I started doing was writing down all my incomes and all my expenses. Now it's very sophisticated. After years I track like assets and liabilities and whatever. If you start, just write down some basic things: where you get money from and where you spend it. You don't even have to put it in categories, but just by writing it down, what you will see is exactly where your money is. So can never happen to you that it's like half of the month and 2 weeks to the payment and you're like, oops, where's my money? It can happen that you don't have money, but you know exactly why. And that's the thing. If you just see what you spend your money for, you can manage it. Next area is personal development. I started writing down all my personal development activities, and I started with goal like 15 minutes a day. Now it's 2 hours in every area of life. But just by writing it down, I kept track of it, and it started motivating me. When it was like just like checklist, well, do this 15 minutes a day, or even 5 minutes a day, consistently every day. And then after a month, there came a day I just couldn't check it because I didn't do it, and I was demotivated and didn't do anything. But when I just started writing down how much time do I spend with it, it started to make sense, and I started to do it consistently, and I was more like 2 hours. And the third area which even motivated me to record this video is health. 2 months ago I was on a diabetic retreat where I wanted to find out some things, how to keep my sugar under control, how to be better in it. And I thought like I'm going to find out about some cool stuff that I can just use and be okay. But what I realized was that the people who had good sugar levels were keeping track. They had like this diabetic notepad that they write all their insulin doses, all their all their sugar levels. They write it down. They can keep track and they can adjust. And just by doing this, in 2 months I improved. Like, I'm not healthy or something, but I improved. And that's the thing. Maybe if you don't have diabetes, it's not so great, this idea for you. But there's another thing that I did along with this. I was writing down every meal that I had. Time, how much carbohydrate it has, and every sport that I had, just to have an idea what does the meal do to me. And after like 6 weeks I stopped doing stopped keeping track of this. Why? Because I didn't need it anymore. Because in 6 weeks I learned what meal does have how much carbohydrates. I learned all about what it does to me physically, how I feel. I learned what to exclude from the menu, what to include. And after like 6 weeks I was already okay, so I didn't need to keep track of it anymore. So it makes sense sometimes to keep track just to some extent, to some time, because what I initially done also with personal development was I wasn't writing down just the personal development. I kept track of everything. Like I kept track of how much time do I spend by eating and having shower and going to work and just whatever, sleeping, everything. I kept track of everything for a few months, and then I realized like it's taking me quite a lot of time and it doesn't bring me too much of a value. But I realized, okay, but keeping track of personal development and how much time I spend working, it actually brings a big value. So I reduced it, and then I continue on keeping track just of those fewer things. So what you can do, for example, in this health area, definitely you can keep track of what you are eating, and not like I'm going to change my my diet and eat exactly this and this. No, just keep track of it, and you will notice that whenever you desire all those sweets that you shouldn't eat, etc., you won't take it just because you are too lazy to write it down. Really, because if you are thorough with it and you write out everything, you won't want to take it just because you need to write another line down. So I challenge you, try this. If you have some I would say dietary issues, try this. What it does to you. Actually keep track of all your meals. Do it for some time until you see like, okay, you met your goals. You don't need to keep track anymore. Keep track of your personal development. Maybe don't even set goals, just keep track so that you see how you develop, and it can motivate you. And keep track of your finances. This is like so crucial that people don't even know, like realize you are studying for, let's say, 18 years if you have university. So you're studying for 18 years to get to work for like 45 years, all basically to make money. Like there can be some higher purpose behind it, but let's face the truth, most of the people don't like their work. So basically what you're doing for is just to survive. And if you're doing this to survive, to have the money, well then keep track of it, because you will find out like maybe you are not so bad off, or I don't know what you will discover. I discovered my things, but anyway, when you keep track of it, you can manage it and you can improve it. So I definitely recommend it to you. Even if you hate reporting, report. Do it for yourself, and you will see it helped me very much, and it helped everyone that I ever heard who tried to do such a thing and do it consistently. So that's my tip of today for you, and have a good success with it. Maybe comment and tell me your experiences, and see you on the top.